Welcome to Sportsline, brought to you by Ace Hardware, New Kensington, AKLC Studios in Leechburg, Arnold Furniture, 5th Avenue, Buffalo Bills, New Kensington, Fazio's Deli and Meats in Arnold, Highland Tire, Torretta and Natrona Heights, Mattio's Pizza and Subs, Brackenridge Heights, Resevich Family Funeral Homes, Lower Burl in Arnold, 380 Discount Warehouse, Murraysville, Tower Auto in Blawnox, and Westmoreland Insurance Services of New Kensington. All right, folks, one thing you want to do with our phone number, please jot this number down and keep it handy, okay? 724-236-0430. And you can call us anytime you wish, and the number's right there in front of the monitor. Mike and I have no trouble. I've got it kind of memorized, but I get the last four mixed up sometimes. But it's 0430.
Right.
724-236-0430.
Let's explain why that's important. For those of you watching on Thursday, you need to get to your computer on Monday nights at 6 o'clock and dial up on the Google machine to doubledribblebob.com.
Okay.
And right up in the corner, there's a little red thing that says live streaming. You click on that. And then you can watch us live on Monday, and then you can call, and the phone number's on there for you.
And at no charge, by the way.
It's absolutely free,
At no
other
charge.
than the very small stipend that you pay your cable provider to get internet access. That very small little thing. And bookmark that, doubledribblebob.com on your Google machine like I have it on mine right here.
Thank you.
And then do that, and then you'll have, first of all, Bob gives you like all the answers to the questions.
Oh,
Many of them are on
we
there.
we practically give away the prizes.
We do.
That you can win here on the show. But for the heck of it, let's go down the rules and the regulations on winning, and then we're going to jump right to the phones, okay? You can win a prize every other week at your household address. The reason we do that, we don't want the wife winning one week and the husband the next, or a brother one week and a sister the next, whatever. You can win the Grand Salami Prize or the Mystery Profile only once in a calendar month, and that's because of their worth. And for the multiple choice, for the Mystery Profile, rather, you can try the Mystery Profile only once a month. Multiple choice, 15-second time limit, Grand Salami at 20, and the Mystery Profile, we go quickly, clue by clue. Got a good one that nobody tried last week.
No.
It's a dandy.
Very difficult.
Okay. First-time callers, 2 or more prizes with a correct answer instead of one prize. And you get the answers, as Mike had indicated, on my website, doubledribblebob.com. Got a couple of people in Leechburg that I ran into about a month ago and said, we got to make it up to your show on a Monday night so that we can be there.
Sure.
And have yet to see you folks.
We welcome you up
So
here.
get up here. My radio program on Saturday mornings on WAVL, they're 9:10 on the AM dial, and that's at 10 o'clock. It's all on sports history and sports nostalgia.
I have a confession to make.
Go ahead.
Father. I did not watch the last replay of the last Borough game, the semifinal victory on TV, and I figured
Because you were there.
I had dispensation. I was there, and I sat next to you, so I got to hear you anyway. So I had play-by-play in this year for Bob. I was good, and I was okay. So I didn't watch the replay, but if you do want to watch, they did lose the championship game to a very good team from St. LaSalle, but that game, I believe, starting Monday, is available on demand.
Available, yeah.
So you'll be able to watch that. Anybody that wants to take a look at it again, if there's a part you wanted to see, it's available for you. But congratulations to them, the Borough Bucks and Megan Zemansky.
25-1.
25-1. They'll go into the state playoffs now, and hopefully they can make some noise there.
And
too.
the most they're going to lose this year is 2 games.
It's a great year. It really
Anyway,
is.
let's take a break. We'll come back, and we'll start chatting with you, the callers. So stay with us. Westmoreland Insurance Services isn't like your ordinary insurance agency. Not only can you get a variety of quotes from leading insurance companies, but you can purchase that protection through Westmoreland Insurance. Accidents happen. Are you prepared? You can be with a wide range of homeowners insurance options from Westmoreland Insurance Services, putting your family's safety in their family's hands for almost 40 years. Give them a call, 724-337-3557. My First Book on Sports is available not only through the internet, but at various local businesses in the AK Valley. It's Bob Tattern's Sports Minutes. Short sports stories, odd and unusual, fascinating and funny, only take about a minute to read. Go online to doubletriplebuck.com, where links are provided for Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Word Association to get book information. Get your copy locally at Costello Printing in Tarentum, Blackburn's in Tarentum, Myrna's Brewery Outlet in New Kensington, or the Hot Dog Guys Lower Borough.
Okay, welcome back. Last week we told you folks about this scholarship in honor of Ryan Richards, sponsored by the Alekiski Health Systems. You see it there on the screen. Ryan, of course, was a former student at Highlands that was tragically killed over the last summer, and they would like to do this nice little scholarship thing available to Highlands students. So we suggest two things. First of all, if you're a Highlands student and you're interested, to contact your guidance counselors, and they should be able to walk you through this. If you would like to donate to the scholarship to help out, www.akhealth.org/Ryan_Richards. You can see it right there on your screen, and you will be directed through there, and it's very simple. You can get through and do that. So we want to give you that opportunity.
Let's jump to the phones right now. We're going to say hello to Chris. I want to set the stage. Chris lost his mother a couple of weeks ago. And Chris, we're sorry for your loss. It's good to have you back in the program. And I really haven't spoken to you since the funeral home visit, and we want to welcome you back.
Thank you, Bob. How you guys doing tonight?
We're good, Chris.
Okay.
Okay, I just wondering, now that A.J. Burnett's on the Philadelphia team, do you think that's going to be a harm to us, or do you think we're doing real good? Because I'm really surprised that we beat Philadelphia that game. We're looking real good otherwise, too, I think. What do you think?
It's an exhibition game. Don't pay any attention to results of exhibition games. The one thing I can tell you for sure, exhibition baseball games, don't pay any attention to the results. All you're worried about is individual, who's done what, and things along those lines. But do I think it'll hurt the Pirates? I think it'll hurt the Pirates that he's not pitching for them anymore, yes. And I think it'll probably help the Phillies that he is pitching for them. You take a guy out of the rotation that was important as he was. If they would have taken that money and spent it in another area, that would have been one thing, but they didn't do that. So I think they'll miss him, but they do have, they're pretty well stocked as far as pitchers go. Hopefully they'll be able to keep everyone healthy and move on that way. But he wanted to play a little bit closer to home, and that's what he did, and they paid him an awful lot of money to do it. So.
Okay, what do you think? Thoughts on contention? How do you think we're going to do this year? We did pretty well last year, the Pirates.
Anybody's guess, right, Mike?
I think they still contend. I do. I don't know that they're. I don't know that there's after you win once, there's kind of a different feeling around, and people are talking about that. So hopefully they can keep that going. But I think they're lacking in some areas as far as actual players go, and we'll see how they're able to do with that. And of course, staying healthy is another thing. They were relatively healthy with their main players last year, and they need to keep those guys on the field. So I think they still contend. I think they have a chance, and that's really all you can ask for. I think they've pretty much passed the point of being the laughingstock. So they'll, we'll see in another 4 weeks from tonight, opening day.
That's another thing. That's the first time I've ever seen an opening day in Pittsburgh in March. Is that true or false?
Well, they have opened on the 31st of March before, but I'm not sure if they did it in Pittsburgh. They may not have. You may be right. It may be the earliest game ever in Pittsburgh. That's a distinct possibility. You might be right about that.
That's really strange that you'd be skipping out of school before Easter, though.
Long before Easter. Easter's late this year.
Yeah, late April.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying, because usually that's when everybody starts skipping school and you have to go down to the game.
Go to the opener.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take a multiple choice, please.
All right, Chris, let's do trivia.
Okay, multiple choice, please.
Michael, do you want to start
Yeah,
them off?
let's go. All right, here we go, Chris. It's a baseball question. Let's see if you can get this one. Who holds the Pittsburgh Pirates team record for being hit by a pitch the most times in a season? Most times hit by a pitch in a season for a Pirate. Was it Dale Berra, Craig Wilson, Jason Kendall, or Starling Marte?
I'm going to say Jason Kendall.
You would say correctly, Chris. Way to get us off on a good start there. He did it 31 times. He was hit both in 1997 and 1998. He wore the body armor and got plunked, and that was.
Well, I mean, look how long you and I have been following Pirate baseball together. We started way back in Sword School, buddy.
5th grade.
Hey, take care.
All right, Chris.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go to
Bryce.
Tony. Tony, thank you for calling. Good evening. Welcome to the program.
Hey, Tom.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Okay.
We're all right.
Well, this is my opinion and my opinion only. The Penguins are not a Stanley Cup champion team.
Why do you say that?
Well, let me tell you why I say that. They have no goalie. Coaching is lousy. Too many prima donnas. They play when they feel like it. And every time they're going to trade, now they're looking for another scorer. You need the grinders, too. When Lemieux and Yager went back-to-back, you look at that team they had. They had everything. They had the grinders, the scorers. They had the complete package. That lasted for 2 years, and that wasn't good enough for Lemieux. And he ran the team back in there, too, without owning it. And so they got rid of all the defense. And what happened? Two of the best hockey players in the history of hockey never won another one together. And here we go again. We have two more. And we've won one and lost one. And you look at that game against the Blackhawks, that was pitiful. That was, oh my, what bad weather, no effort today. Come on. Get real. This is going year after year after year now. I'm sorry.
I can't disagree with anything you said.
No, thank you very much.
And
now, you know what? Tell the guy next to you.
I want to take it one step further, and then we give Bob the floor. I need one step further. They aren't tough enough.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying. The grinders,
They aren't
tough.
They are not tough enough. And if you watch that game, and I'll tell you what, I left that. I wanted to enjoy it, to watch it in the snow. I thought it was cool. I liked it. I liked the idea. I think they may be playing a little bit too many of those this year, but whatever. The game is on the schedule. You play it.
6.
Right.
Yeah, the game's on the schedule. You play it. The depth that Chicago has, all the way down through their third and their fourth line, it was just it made it so obvious the depth that the Penguins don't have.
Right.
And they
haven't.
They are far, far away from that team they played on Saturday night.
All right, let me go back to the Penguins' record before the Olympics.
Okay.
Didn't you say that they did better than you had hoped where they would be up to that point?
Right.
So what's happened over the break?
Well, their record, the record that they have, isn't the issue. They have a great record every year because they have so much talent. You're just going to roll over teams. I mean, they have so much goal scoring ability that they're just going to beat a bunch of teams, and they are going to have a great record, and they're going to accumulate a lot of points. It's how is the team built? You have to play differently in the playoffs. You have to be, and I've said this last year, I'm going to say it again. You have to have enough guys willing to go to do the tough work, the difficult work that's necessary to win in the playoffs. They didn't have it last year. They haven't improved the team at all. They've actually let more guys go from last year. They brought the same team, and I said this during the summer last year, they brought the same team back that wasn't good enough last year, and now they expect it to be good enough this year. Now, and I don't think that one trading deadline, which is 2 days away, which will be Wednesday, I don't think that one trading deadline is enough to solve all the problems that they have right now. I really don't. I think that game, Tony, I don't know about you, but with the Steelers and Bob, when each year the Steelers, go through their season, and you're hopeful, you don't know, you have suspicions whether they're good enough or whether they're not. There always comes that one game during the season that you leave it either feeling really terrible because you know for sure in your heart that they can't do it, or you feel good because you saw a game that tells you, you know what, this team has a chance. I left that game Saturday night deep in my heart knowing they can't do it.
Amen, brother. Amen. I'll tell you. I just don't know what what their thinking is. This is going on too long. It's the same stuff. like I said, when they trade, it's always for offense, you know.
There's time. There's time.
And as far as
but the
you
problem
said
is,
about people working, that's the grinders. That's the guys going to corner, get the puck out. I mean, you know, actually with Malkin and Crosby, their talent's wasted, you know, with what's surrounding them.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Now that's my opinion. And
when the Stanley Cup playoffs are over, fini, I would like to have a copy of this show.
Well, I hold out one small. I need to wait to see what they do at the deadline, and we need to see how they play after that. But I don't think.
Well, next Monday on the program, we'll talk about it.
Won't get fooled again.
Well, like I said, when they went up against the Blackhawks, you could see how much better the Blackhawks were. Like Mike said, from top to bottom, and we don't have that, and we take off too many minutes in the game.
They put their third and their fourth line out there, Tony, and they're big and they're tough and they do the work, and they do the work necessary.
And we're not. And we're not.
Our last two lines are sorely lacking.
Right.
You have one good player on 6 out of 6.
Yep.
You have Brandon Sutter, who's average at best, in my opinion, and average at best, and he's the best player of the bottom 6 players, and that's all they have. I mean,
and they're talking about getting rid of him.
Well, they should get rid of him, but that's not. You know, I'll be thrilled if they got rid of him because he doesn't fit down there. It's not. He's not a defensive player, and that's another thing. He's not good enough defensively to carry that third line. He just isn't.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's get away from that and let's go to the Pirates.
Yeah, you depressed me enough.
And that's depressing enough. Let's go to more depressing stuff. Now let's go to the Pirates. Now it's exhibition, and like you said, you don't watch the scores, but you watch tendencies.
You got to watch people.
Yes, you watch what the players did during the regular season last year, and if they continue doing it during spring training, it's going to go right into the season. And you look for the rookies. To see what tendencies they have, how good they are, and that's what you watch in spring training. Forget about the score. I remember when the Pirates used to win the Grapefruit League, and then settled into their last place spot every year. So just watch that. Like I said, and they got rid of a starter and they didn't replace him. Now they have some other arms, I guess they're messing around with, and who knows, maybe somebody will come through, and maybe somebody will not. But I like what they did with Walker. They told him, you're batting left-handed, get used to it. You're going to have to learn how to hit left-handed pitch. That's what they did to Alvarez. And
yeah, exactly.
So I'm glad they did that. That's about the only thing they did this winter.
Yeah, we still
so that's all you watch for, and and it looks like they're sitting on their hands, and I think that's ridiculous, and I don't think it's fair to the fans. But frankly, my dear, I don't think they give a damn about the fans. So, cha-ching, that's all they care about.
As long as they have more money, that's all they care about.
Yeah, and as far as Burrow, they had a great season.
They did.
And I watched a few games on TV, and like I always said, boy, you think they're so good, and then they meet other teams, and you just shake your head. Where do they get these players, these other teams? Are
they have 3 kids going to Pitt, seeing LaSalle.
You shake your head and say, wow, 21 points you lose by?
That team is loaded. I mean, and they had to lead the state of Pennsylvania to lose a game too. That's another thing.
There you go.
The LaSalle didn't lose any games in the Whitfield.
Yeah. And what's this? Well, Burrow beat Greensburg Central Catholic.
Right.
And that was a good game.
It was a terrific game.
They never trailed, by the way.
Yeah. And Greensburg Central Catholic has juniors, freshmen, and sophomores on the team.
Yeah, they didn't have one senior.
Or is it McGuffey I'm thinking about?
Wow. McGuffey, they never tried. Yeah,
McGuffey, they never tried. I'm sorry. Central was ahead by 8.
They were down 8 late in the second quarter, and they made a nice comeback.
And they were leading by 8. And then 10, and I think maybe
they
12.
lost Jay Lamanga in the championship game. She went down and hit her head and had to get
Talked to her Sunday. She said
is she okay?
they didn't know where the blood was coming from.
Oh, my goodness.
She just sat there and it just poured down. And she told me that they really didn't know until they started, to look around. And she took the staples without anesthetic.
Bit on a bullet, huh?
She came back, and there
What a
was
trooper.
There was a big cheer. She came back to sit on the bench at the end and was able to go out and get her medal. And she got a big standing ovation.
Well, they called a few timeouts.
Megan called a couple of timeouts. She wasn't exactly happy that they were calling timeouts on the other side. I thought that was great. She used them all too. She was making sure everybody had a ride home. So I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah. I remember I was having a procedure at a doctor's office, and I said, "Ain't you going to give me nothing?" He said, "I can't. They're not going to do nothing there." So I turned to the nurse and said, "You got a bullet I could bite on." She said, "Oh, I'm fresh out of them." So after I got done, I went home and I got one of my old shells, and I cleaned it up and polished it up, and I put a keychain on it. When I went to go back to the doctor to take the stitches out, I said, here's a spare one. Make sure you always have it." She thought that was pretty nice. She said, "I'll give it to the next guy." I said, "Good."
Tony, we got to do trivia.
Oh, yeah, it's trivia time. That's right. Gee, did you seem like I just won a week ago or so? I don't know. Okay.
Can you please take a question that has no prize?
All right. Which one's that?
Let me give you the Russian weightlifter, and I know you'll lose.
They all seem to have a prize.
Hey, Mike, how many times have I told this guy I used to date one?
Exactly.
All right.
Oh, brother.
You going to go with
All
salami, or are you going to go easy on me?
Go easy on you.
Oh.
You just want me to hang up? All right, let's go for the grand salami. And, all right, I'll make it easy on you. Let me have number one.
All right, we're going to talk football.
We're going to talk football.
I can only say that if you win this one, I'm going to treat you like the NBA treated the Boston Celtics. They were too good, and they kicked them out of the league.
Thanks.
All right?
Okay.
All right. Number one, did you say?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Number one, grand salami. What National Football League head coach has made the most consecutive playoff appearances? You got 20 seconds.
All right, I'll give you a break. Don Shula.
Oh, good. Why are you giving me a break? No, that's a pretty good answer.
It's not right, but it's a pretty good answer.
No, I knew it wasn't right. That's why I gave you a break.
All right, for no prize at all, take a guess.
About the guy from New England.
How about I just give you a little hint here for fun?
All right.
He used to play for the Steelers.
He used to. Not Tony Dungy.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
He had 10 consecutive playoff appearances, 3 with Tampa, 7 with Indianapolis.
I'll be darned.
10.
Oh, I would have guessed that.
Hey, Tone, we're late for a break, but God bless you. Thanks for losing.
See, I gave you a break. I didn't win today. I'll be back.
All righty.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Folks, we got to take a break. We'll return in a moment. Welcome to Buffalo Bill's Roadhouse, the place for big appetites. Their great sandwich selection includes the Geronimo, piled high with generous portions of meat and fixings. Their barbecue ribs are the best in town. Half rack or full rack, they don't come better. Buffalo Bill's wings are everybody's favorite. Uniquely oven-baked, not deep-fried, and yet so crispy. Your choice of 13 flavored seasonings. Grab a bucket for the big game. Eat in or take out, credit cards accepted. Buffalo Bill's Roadhouse, Freeport Road, New Kensington, across from Faldarelli Square.
For over 38 years and 3 generations, Arnold Furniture has been the area's favorite furniture store. We have over 4 floors of living rooms, dining rooms, recliners, bedding, carpeting, and so much more.
You'll always find friendly personal service from one of the family.
And our prices consistently beat the competition, plus free local delivery and free setup guaranteed. Visit Arnold Furniture online at arnoldfurnitureinc.com or stop in and see us today.
AKLC Studios LLC is the place for your video and multimedia needs. Let AKLC Studios produce a unique television commercial for your business. At your location or in our studios, we're here to meet your needs. Ever want your own television show? Let us show you how. AKLC Studios LLC can even tape your special events and weddings. Whatever your multimedia need, call AKLC Studios LLC in Leechburg today. Professional quality at hometown prices. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
Well, at Tower Auto Sales, you've got the luxury of choice because where you buy your vehicle is just as important as what you buy. Let the experienced sales staff of Tower Auto Sales help you. Just buy it at Tower Auto. Give Mike Fandle a call if you wish, 412-828-6202. Tower Auto Sales in Blanox. Okay, we're going to switch over now to a little community within a community in Lower Burrell, where the limo man has been hanging out for a couple of weeks. Bruce, good evening.
Good evening.
Bel Air Nursing Home.
There you are.
They took the cast out, Bob. I'll be in running condition soon.
Uh-huh.
You gonna run the 40 limo?
I'm sorry?
I said we're gonna run the 40 together. We'll run the 40-yard dash and see how you time out.
I don't know about that, but I got everybody here listening to you.
Well, that's good.
Are we live streaming down there?
Yeah.
Even
How
better.
about that?
How about that, Bob?
Even better.
Even better. Hey, where's George? I haven't heard him on the air lately.
He'll be on next
He'll be
Monday.
here next week.
Okay.
He's busy chasing around all these basketball playoff games.
I can't believe that the Pirates were so stupid to let a guy like A.J. Burnett go.
Yeah, that
Well.
pretty much was a correct statement. I don't think I have anything to add to that one.
Even though he wanted to be close to his family.
He did, but I mean, you know.
$20 million is not a lot to talk about.
No, he was a pretty smart guy, though. He ended up with a nice buck out of the deal, and he has a chance to even have a contract for next year. So he's guaranteed himself over $20 million.
And
Bruce, you do
Marlon
the
Bird
same.
with the Phillies, too.
Yes, he is.
You see what I mean? I was on Ruben Amaro's show. I told him how smart he really is.
Well, he needs the help. He takes a beating out there.
I know. I know
pretty
that.
old.
Those Philadelphia fans are.
They have like one of they have a chance that to have the oldest starting lineup in baseball history.
How about that?
For the most guys playing starting over 130 games. Now the thing is that the record was held by the Angels in the mid '80s. But the thing is to get those old guys to actually play the 130 games is the issue. So we'll see what happens. But they with Utley and Howard and Ruiz and you know.
Banez didn't show me much yesterday either.
Oh really?
No. Struck out 3 times.
Oh jeez, that can happen. He's
Still
up there.
playing left field.
Yeah, he's up there too.
Yeah. All right, Bob, I'm ready for multiple choice
right.
before I take my nightly shower.
There we go. There we go, Bruce. Let's get a winner here. Frank Robinson and what other player have hit the most career opening day home runs? Frank Robinson and what other player have hit the most home runs on opening day? Here are your choices. Fred Lynn, Albert Pujols, Ken Griffey Jr., or Ricky Henderson?
Ricky Henderson.
That is not correct, Limo. The answer is Ken Griffey Jr. They've each hit 8 home runs. And I'm sure that young man from the Baltimore Orioles, when he had his report written in and handed it to Buck Showalter, had that on it.
All right, there's a long drive in deep right center field, and this one is for Rachel Cattle.
Oops. Thanks, Limo. I got to tell you, before we move on, we'll get to Paul here in a second, that Limo, I should have brought it up with him. Limo was prominently featured on the Fan Morning Show.
Oh?
Yes, they replayed his phone call to Bob Pompiani's show from a few nights previous, the one I told you about, when he called and was talking about his doctors.
And he thought he was talking in a swimming pool
No,
or
no,
something?
no, it wasn't that one. It was, but they just had brought up, and he go, "Oh, you mean Limo Man?" And they go, "Yeah, you mean this call?" And then they played the call because they love the reactions of Pompiani and Ron Cook or whoever's on to the calls, And yeah, so limo was prominently featured on the Fan Morning Show. I enjoyed
Yeah.
that. I forgot to tell you, so I tell you right here on live television. Why not?
I appreciate that.
There you go.
We'll go to the studio audience tonight, and let's talk to Paul.
Sean Mooney.
How's everybody tonight?
Good, Paul.
Paul resides in Lower Borough. Good to have you on the show. Thanks for making a trip.
So at least Pitt won 2 in a row now.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
They almost blew the game on, but the worst time out in history on Saturday. He had Bill Hillgrove so flummoxed he didn't know what to make of it.
And if you think about it, they're kind of exhibition games too, because
Well, not for every team. They have a big game tonight against North Carolina State. They really need to win that one. That would pretty much, they need to stay a game ahead of Clemson to lock up 5th.
is that game at NC State?
No, the game is at Pittsburgh tonight. The game's at 9 o'clock.
Let's hope Pitt doesn't give up against NC State.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully they'll continue on. But they beat them the first time they played down in Raleigh. So
Yeah. And for the outdoor game the other night, I didn't see it. I'm not into the outdoor games. Doesn't do anything for me, no matter who's
it's not
playing.
visually pleasing for you to watch them play in the snow, and the game's not very good.
You know what I don't understand? If I
Right.
can interject something here about these outdoor games. 61,000 people at Soldiers Field, Chicago, watched the game. All right. 61,000, and I'm sure the NHL had a pretty decent ticket stipend to get in.
Right.
There was nothing cheap
No.
about any of the seats.
No, not anymore.
Okay. By the way, did you see Jeremy Roenick in at the top? Okay, anyway.
They should have left them up there.
So my question is, they have 6 of these outdoor games on the season schedule for this year in the NHL. So the debate has come up, is this overkill? And people that love this outdoor stuff can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of taste, I guess. But I think if you had your druthers, you would like to have this game played on a cold, crisp day with no flurries, so that these guys don't have to go out there with shovels. They were digging the puck out of the corner, looking for this black object.
It was rooster tail.
Buried in snow, and it was tough. But
Well, yeah, I think they should have maybe two a year, and that's it. One New Year's Day and one the week before the Super Bowl, and that's it.
I'm good with one, but I like your idea. I like the week before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, like
idea.
rotate.
That makes.
rotate,
Well, you know what I think they should do? I think they should play the All-Star game outside. I think they should play the All-Star game outside.
Okay, make it 3 a year.
And how about even this? How about just say instead of a typical All-Star game, East versus West, why not say, okay, Team Canada versus Team USA All-Stars play each other one game outside?
Or the exhibition season in September have like 6 games outside. No one would
I
care.
guess the one in LA worked out very well. They the ice was great, and even though it was really warm, it seemed to come off well, and the people in LA liked it. I don't know why they did 6 this year. I don't even know what the point about it was, but they just moving them around to see where it would work, and then they could to have it for another time. I don't know, but I'm with you. Less is more in this case. I think I like the New Year's Day idea. I think they need to play there.
And the team can't play like make it a limit, like every 6 years you can play in one, so other teams can
Spread it around.
Yeah.
I would spread them around the country too.
And do you think the NBA would ever try like an outdoor game, like in the warm climates, or
That's a great question.
just like a Laker game at Dodger Stadium, or like a Heat game out at the Orange Bowl, or something like that,
I don't know.
or preseason games, or All-Star game outside.
It would have to
something-
be the All-Star game outside.
Yeah,
Remember,
they make enough money. They
Houston
can.
back in the day. Houston had a game. Houston Cougars played UCLA at the Astrodome.
Right.
And it was a huge event. They played at the Astrodome. They plopped the court right down in the middle. Had 50, 60,000 people there for it. They put it on live primetime television, which was unusual at the time, and everyone watched it.
Right.
And Houston had Elvin Hayes at the time, and they upset UCLA in that game. And that was a big deal because of the novelty of it. And that's the thing, though. You run the risk of spreading it too thin by doing it too often, and I think they may be close to the rating they got. The rating they got in Pittsburgh, 400,000 televisions in Pittsburgh market.
For this game?
For this game, 400,000 televisions in the Pittsburgh market watched this game.
The other.
that's pretty close to 50% of the market, if not more.
And that's huge.
It is. It is.
So.
Well, I still think that you know, you've got to, it's just like the Super Bowl that we just had, you know, the fact that they had backup dates of the Saturday before or the Monday, I think it was the
just in
Monday
case of the
after,
weather.
just in case. But man, you've got to do a lot of praying for
I know.
for the weather to work out. So anyway,
Back in the day, I thought like all the Final Four inside of a dome wouldn't work, but now it seems, you know, work with inside of a dome. It's like the closest seat, you know, is what, $2,000, I think.
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, or even more for a Final Four game.
Yeah, I don't like those at all. I wish those could be played in an arena, but
Yeah, that's what I
they
said.
make so much money. you
Right.
know.
All right, I think I'll try Mystery Profile.
Oh,
Your
My
turn,
favorite.
Mike?
no, it's your turn, Bob.
My turn.
It is.
Okay, well,
See how.
Paul, this is going to be a darn good one.
All
And I hope you're up to it tonight.
I'll try.
So it is sponsored by Mattio's Pizza. They're located in Brackenridge Heights, right near District Magistrate's, the District Magistrate office there at the traffic light. And I'll tell you what, they do have some great product. I stopped in to talk with Matt maybe a week ago, and I popped him a trivia question, and he was busy making sandwiches, and he said, Bob, you see what I'm doing here, you know? Anyway, folks, if you like great pizza, Mattio's has it for you. They're located, as we mentioned, at that traffic light intersection. 724-904-7312 is the number. Strombolis and calzones and wingdings as well. Okay, Paul, here we go. We're going to give you 4 clues. And the first clue is worth $100 in prizes if you get it right here. You ready?
All right.
I hold a baseball record of 50 years, and I'm not in the Hall of Fame.
I said just to guess, Mickey Rivers. I have no idea.
That's okay. Well, the answer is incorrect, so
Right.
we're going to go to clue number 2. If you get it here,
Me too.
it's $75. Early in my career, I signed a recording contract with RCA Records. The guy sang.
Pass. I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
$50 worth of prizes after a beaning. I was named Comeback Player of the Year the following season, or maybe 2 seasons later. He may have had a sit-out one, but the very next time that he was in uniform, he was named the Comeback Player of the Year.
Robin Ventura.
Nope. Let's try it
No,
again.
Ryan.
You might have it now. He died of a heart attack at age 45.
Just to guess, John Milner. I have no
Okay,
idea.
no.
Okay.
And here's your Tinker toy. He had a nickname, Koenig or Koenig. And this is strictly for a small prize.
All right. I have no idea. I'm sorry. I
How
pass.
about if I give you a first name, Tony
Yeah, Conigliaro.
Conigliaro?
Right.
Tony
I
Conigliaro,
wouldn't
there it
have
is. Yeah, Tony, in fact, the first record that he pressed,
Okay.
they just made 15,000 copies.
Right.
And they sold out real quick, so he cut another single, and it went just as quick.
Okay.
So they signed a guy, and this is 1964. In those days, this was big money, a $25,000 contract with RCA Records. So anyway, the answer is that, Paul. Thanks for participating.
All
Okay.
right, thank you. Have a good day.
Okay. Folks, we got to take a break. We have another phone call to get to when we return, so stay with us. Sportsline Trivia back in a flash. This is where you get the absolute freshest deli meats and cheeses. Fazio's Italian Deli in Arnold. At Fazio's, you're getting only the best and freshest selection. Fazio's has its own bakery and offers you fresh baked bread, rolls, pastries, and more. Pick up individual salads to go, Italian sausages, hoagies, custom-made sandwiches, even party trays for your next get-together. Freshness and quality every time at Fazio's Italian Deli, Leishman and Dre in Arnold.
There once was a hungry road that wouldn't let drivers get very far. It wore out their tires, forcing them to buy new ones. Then along came the Michelin Man who proved the right tire changes everything. With long-lasting tires in place, those drivers were back on the road to saving money. Drive longer with the Michelin Defender tire, backed by a 90,000-mile limited warranty. Michelin, a better way forward.
Available at Highland Tire under the bridge in Tarentum and Freeport Road in Trona Heights. Westmoreland Insurance Services isn't like your ordinary insurance agency. Not only can you get a variety of quotes from leading insurance companies, but you can purchase that protection through Westmoreland Insurance. Westmoreland provides a full range of coverage for all of your automobile needs. Westmoreland Insurance Services, putting your family's safety in their family's hands for almost 40 years. Give them a call, 724-337-3557. I want to remind everybody that the answers to the trivia questions are on my website. And every day that I prepare for the program, I take some questions that recently were on the website. So these are not old unless we used them both recently and about a year ago or whatever. So if you go on the website and get the answers to them, and it'll help you win a prize. I don't understand why people don't do it more often.
We arm you.
We arm
Back in the
you.
old days, we used to arm you with the books.
I wish we could still do
Those
that.
were great.
All right, Rich is on the line from Cheswick, and a pleasant good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hi, Rich.
Hi.
Hey, are you guys going to be ready for the outfield of the Dreams
What's
for
that
the
again?
Pirates? When Polanco gets up here.
I still can't.
Yeah, I couldn't make it out. I'm sorry.
I'm saying the Pirates are going to have the outfield of the
when
Dreams.
when Polanco gets up there.
Yeah, when he comes up, and you think he'll be up in June?
Whenever that may be, yeah, June, I guess, because they need to make sure that they, can pay him as little as possible. That's why they're waiting. But I guess he's opened some eyes so far down there. The thing is, I think he only has like eight at bats in AAA. So sending him back is the right thing to do, and they'll buy some time with his arbitration clock and make sure that they have him for the extra year. But supposedly he's huge and has put on some weight in a good way, and he's bigger than the other two guys, and that should be interesting. I mean, I don't know how long they can wait for him, and what exactly do you expect out of a kid when he first gets there? But supposedly, as a prospect goes, he's one of the top.
I guess they have a guy down there named Dickerson. He's trying to play outfield too.
I like this guy. He's been around, and he could be a good bench guy. He played for the Yankees in Baltimore.
I was going to say the Yankees. I remember
Milwaukee. I think he came up with. So he's not the type of guy. He's kind of like what Felix Pie was last year. Kind of a guy that's been around. They bring him to camp on a non-roster basis. Chance to make the team. If he doesn't make it, then they try to talk him into going down to the minors and helping out in Indianapolis and be, he's a phone call away. But he can do some things for you off the bench. He can steal a base. He's a pretty decent outfielder. He's got some speed. He's a left-handed bat, and I would not be adverse to having him on the team as one of the backups. But something may have to happen for that to happen because they seem to be pretty set with their.
Snyder was hurt there for a while. I guess he's coming back healthy.
Yeah, supposedly. I guess we're supposed to believe that was the reason that he didn't do so well was because he was hurt. I just happen to think he's not very good. So we'll see. I would almost here's what I would in a perfect world. Here's how I'd like to see it. I wish they could go out and get themselves a first baseman, and Lambeau can platoon in right field with Tabata. They basically just get rid of Snyder somehow, and we go with that until Polanco's ready to give Lambeau a shot to see what he has.
I see out of the next 31 games that they're playing the exhibition, 25 are against the American League.
Yeah, isn't it weird?
Yeah.
They only play the Phillies, are the only National League team they'll play in exhibition games at all. And they'll play them 6 times. They don't play any other National League team in Florida, and they're going to have 2 games in Philadelphia exhibition games prior to the start of the season over the last weekend before they open up. And that's it. No other, which is a good thing because I was listening to some of the Mets game Sunday morning and replayed from the day before and listening to Ron Darling, and he hated the fact that he would have to pitch against the same National League team over and over again because then they would get used to
his stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. And he said, is there any way I could pitch over in the minor league game at 10 o'clock in the morning or whatever? and he said the problem that the Mets are having now on the Atlantic coast of Florida, there are only 4 teams over there now. And it makes it very difficult that you're playing the same teams over and over again, and they and especially for the pitchers, you don't necessarily want to throw them, and you'll see the Pirates do that if it's somebody they were going to play early in the season, that they'd back a guy off, have him pitch a B game someplace against a minor league lineup, something just to get their work in, and take a look at younger people. But I heard that yesterday, Rich, and I thought it was very strange. It's like, oh, okay, but it might be by design.
On Walker, he says that he always is going to be a pinch hitter. I mean, a switch hitter. Even though they're going to send him down to the minors, I guess, and bat against some lefties. But
right. They want to have him hit against as many left-handed pitchers in spring training as they can. And that they're basically going with the theory that the reason that he was so lousy batting right-handed is because he just hasn't seen enough left-handed pitchers. So that's what they're going to try. They're going to get him in there against those guys. I thought after he came back from his injury late in the season that I thought he did a lot better against lefties. Now, I don't have the numbers to back it up. I haven't looked them up. But I thought
he was under 200.
August and September, I thought he hit lefties much better. Now, here's the thing. He has absolutely no power. He's a singles hitter against them. And he can't hit fifth. He's hitting fifth now because they really don't have anybody else to hit fifth. He can't hit fifth against lefties. There's no way. He is basically Clint Barnes against left-handed pitching. So even if he brought his average up, there's no power there.
Okay, gentlemen, I guess I'm ready for trivia. I'll take multiple choice.
Multiple choices. I've got now. Here's how this has worked. I've got all the multiple choice questions so far.
Go ahead.
And Bob got the toughies, and Bob threw 2.
Bob
threw 2 BBs past those 2 guys. So here we go. Who holds the record for most RBIs in a season by a switch hitter? I used this on people when they can't get it without choices. Pete Rose, Mark Teixeira, Chipper Jones, Mickey Mantle. Who holds the record for most RBIs in a season by a switch hitter?
Is it Mickey Mantle?
It's not. That's what everybody says. The answer is Mark Teixeira. He had 144 in 2005. Now, when Bob asked me the question, I said Howard Johnson, because I always guess Howard Johnson for these questions. Because I think Howard Johnson had a pretty darn good career, and he doesn't get a whole lot of love for it. But okay, so my first guess was Howard Johnson, and he said no. And I could tell by the way he was asking me the question it wasn't Mantle. So I went to Chipper Jones with the next one, and that wasn't right either. And I'd have never guessed Teixeira. So
Teixeira, by the way, is related to a family in either Tarentum, Natrona, or Natrona Heights.
His grandmother, as a matter of fact, just passed away here within the last couple of years. And Dom Corso was telling me that he had gone to the funeral home, and that Mark Teixeira came to the funeral home, obviously, because his grandmother died. And it was basically, this isn't time for autographs or anything like that here, paying respects to grandma. But he does have some local ties.
And by the way, numbers, he had 144 in 2005, which is pretty.
That's a lot of RBIs. He's supposedly about ready to come back. I don't know if he played today or some point later this week, but he had a terrible injury. He got hurt in that World Baseball Classic last year. Very similar to Paul Martin messing up his hand in the Olympics, and the kid from the Islanders, I'm drawing a blank right now, their center, their top player. But I lost it. It's gone. That train derailed a second ago. But yeah.
Okay.
So thanks
Rich,
a lot for calling,
appreciate your call.
Always, yes.
Okay. Well, we have a final break.
We can do that. I have some Steelers news that I'd like to get to.
That's, you know what, we were talking about it before we went on the air.
We have some things
and
going
here we
on
are
with
at the end of the program.
Yeah, so we'll get to that.
Okay. Break time. We're coming back in a moment. Stay with us, please. Since 1914, the local area has relied on the Resevich family of funeral homes in deepest times of need. The Resevich family is the oldest established name in the funeral profession in the AK Valley, now 100 years strong and still doing things right. Its reputation and unquestionable service now continues with a fourth generation. The Resevich family of funeral homes, 5th Avenue Arnold and Leechburg Road in Lower Borough.
AKLC Studios LLC is the place for your video and multimedia needs. Let AKLC Studios produce a unique television commercial for your business. At your location or in our studios, we're here to meet your needs. Ever want your own television show? Let us show you how. AKLC Studios LLC can even tape your special events and weddings. Whatever your multimedia need, call AKLC Studios LLC in Leechburg today. Professional quality at hometown prices. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
380 Auction and Discount Warehouse, Route 380, Murraysville.
Automotive supplies, groceries, housewares, pet supplies.
All at discount prices.
Sofas, dining tables, recliners, dressers and desks, lamps and end tables.
All at discount prices.
Yard and landscaping supplies, special catalog orders, mattresses with full warranties.
All at discount prices.
School supplies, tools, paint, toiletries, model cars, toys.
All at discount prices. Get to 380 Auction and Discount Warehouse today, Route 380, Murraysville.
You know, we've been talking about Tower Auto Sales here in the program for quite some time now. And, you know, I just started to realize, you know, these people at Tower Auto Sales have been at the same location now for 40 years. 40 years of experience at the same location. They know their business, and believe me, no matter what it is you want in a pre-owned vehicle, they're going to get it for you. Tower Auto Sales. Give Mike Fandel a call at 412-828-6202. Tower Auto Sales. Just buy it. Okay. All right, Mike, Steeler news.
Salary cap season is right around the corner here. You must be under, the new cap is going to be $133 million, which is higher, $10 million higher than it was last year, and higher than they had expected. They originally thought it was going to come in at about $130 million. If you wonder about those Thursday night games that they play and all these things, they bring in this extra money, the salary cap goes up, the players don't complain because they make more money. So with that in mind, I believe today or tomorrow is the deadline if you're going to tag a player, your franchise player, or a transition player. Now, interesting that the transition tag hasn't been used in the National Football League since 2008. And the last time anybody used it is when the Steelers made Max Starks their transition player. And at that time, I believe he counted somewhere in the neighborhood of $7 to $8 million being a left tackle. And I go under the theory of, I don't care how much money it is, there's no such thing as a bad one-year contract because you have it for 1 year and you're out from under it. So today, the Steelers placed their transition tag on Jason Worlds, the linebacker.
I don't blame him.
Which automatically makes his salary for this coming season $9,754,000. Now, that puts the Steelers over the salary cap, which they already were anyway. Without this move, and this is going to count right now, without this move, they were going to be able to just cut Levi Brown and they would have been under and they would have been clear. Now, they couldn't have done any business. They still had to make more moves, okay? But this puts them about $11 million over the cap. So cutting Levi Brown alone isn't going to do it. Ike Taylor may be the next casualty. You have to be compliant by March 11th, which is next Tuesday, I believe. So any moves that they make, that the top 51 players that you have on your roster right now, you have to be at the $133 million mark or under by Tuesday. So they're going to have to make some moves to get that done. Restructuring contracts, cutting people. What's going to go on with Ike? I think Ike's iffy right now.
And somebody may step forth and say, let me reconstruct my...
Now, right. And now here's the other thing with this, is that making Jason Worlds a transition player doesn't necessarily mean he'll be back on the Steelers. He's still a free agent and he can still go out and shop his services. But what happens is if he can't find a suitor and decides to come back, he comes back and plays for that 1 year tender. If he's able to find a contract and somebody signs him, then he can go, and the Steelers have no right to match. All they've basically done is protect themselves in an area of, okay, if he goes out there and can't find it, basically what it does is it dares the agent to go out there and find an offer that's better than this. And no one's used this. I said since 2008, no one in the league has used it. Now, a franchise player is different because then there's a rate to match that goes along with that, and you tag them, they basically come back, and so we'll see what happens here. Now, part B to this is what's going to happen with Lamar Woodley. Now, they can't cut Lamar Woodley, I wouldn't think, until they see what happens with Worlds. So you can't cut Woodley to get yourself down under the cap right away, because then you don't want to risk losing them both. And it's funny the way it works, because this all counts against your cap now, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have the player. You got to clear the room for him to be there before Tuesday. So they're going to have some work to do here, and their things are going to. Yeah. And they needed to get themselves probably $10 million under it anyway, because they go out and sign some people to try to make the team better. That's the next thing. So
you'll see some office lights on at the Steelers complex.
Omar Khan is their cap guy that works in conjunction with Kevin Colbert and Mike Tomlin, and they and believe me, a lot of thought goes into this, because this is kind of a surprise today. So Ike Taylor, Bob, what do you think? I mean, he didn't play well last year, and there's some age on him, and he's probably 33, 34 for a corner. And you could see his play definitely slipped, and he's a $7 million guy. He's got 1 year left. There's no dead money if you cut him. Now, if he wants to come back at a discount, then maybe you talk, but are they going to be willing to go with William Gay on one side and Cortez Allen on the other side, and those are your two corners, and you move forward with that? There's a lot of money tied up in that secondary for some old guys. Paul Amalu, Ryan Clark, a free agent, probably going to walk now. They're going to have to do something else at the other safety position, but this is interesting. This is the beginning of the restructuring. They need to get. Well, the first thing they need to do is get better on defense. And this may be the start. They seem to have placed some of their money in World's corner to see if he decides to come back.
And the players realizing that this is a business, know full well, no hard feelings. This is about money.
And it'd be a 1 year. It would be a 1 year deal. Now, what could happen is if they can also now negotiate, after he's gone out there and taken a look, they could negotiate a long-term deal with him here, and then you could cut that $9,700,000 down for this year and spread out more money over a longer period of time, which lessens your cap hit and makes the player happier. So all those things can happen. But the thing with Woodley now is that if they cut Woodley, they take a serious cap hit, because they actually add money on by cutting him right away. So if they wait till after June 1st, it spreads out over 2 years, but then they have a cap hit next year too. This is very complicated.
It sounds complicated.
And this is the price that they're paying for pushing a lot of these contracts off into the future. So they had a chance to compete and win at least the second Super Bowl. They did it this way. So we'll see, and get to another one after that. So we'll see how this works out. You know what the cure to this is, Bob? Younger players step up and play better that don't make a lot of money. Look who won the Super Bowl. Seattle, with a lot of guys not making a lot of money.
Folks, we wish the Lady Bucks of Burrell the best of luck on Friday night. They're playing Clarion Limestone at North Hills. And girls, go get them. I believe that Jayla Manga will be back in the lineup, and she'll be ready to go.
Her grandpap will be happy.
She missed the bulk of the game. Actually,
yeah, that was early.
She was hurt in the first quarter.
She and another girl hit the court really hard.
An elbow.
It was an elbow on top of her head, is what it was, and she didn't play. She hardly played at all. So. Yeah.
All right, folks, that's going to wrap it up. And again, good luck to Burrell Friday night.
Yes, indeed.
And we will see you next week. Same time, same bat channel. I'm Bob Tatter.
I'm Mike Pavlik.
And good night. Thank you for watching Sportsline, brought to you by Ace Hardware, New Kensington, AKLC Studios in Leechburg, Arnold Furniture, 5th Avenue, Buffalo Bills, New Kensington, Fazio's Deli and Meats in Arnold, Highland Tire, Toretta and Natrona Heights, Mattio's Pizza and Subs, Brackenridge Heights, Resevich Family Funeral Homes, Lower Burl in Arnold, 380 Discount Warehouse, Murraysville, Tower Auto in Blawnox, and Westmoreland Insurance Services of New Kensington.